presentations. And many, many thanks for this. Each has its own merit and approach to this very complex subject. Because the subject is farmers' integration into value chains, which is already in the light of studies for some years. It's not so sexy like climate change or food security, but probably it stays longer on the agenda. And I think the three presentations proved that it is very important to deal with this subject. There are many projects and many surveys which continuously provide new information. Let me just say for the beginning that three of us were included in a global project. Rani was the leader of the Indonesian component, which looked upon this subject with the title of Regoverning Markets a few years ago. And I was very pleased to revisit the subject because the presenters brought up many new aspects of that. Of course, I think two of the presenters basically went around three issues. One is really how the small farmers are linked, and is there an exclusion or no exclusion, or somewhere in between, somewhere yes, somewhere not. And I think this is still a relevant issue, though Tom's presentation was quite rosy in many aspects, but still he also put at the end that there are some cases of exclusion, and I think this is still the case. And the other subject what were covered by our presenters was what are still the key bottlenecks, how the small farmers integration could be facilitated, and what are the reasons if this integration is not taking place. Of course, we got some answers from the presenters, and I think we got a nuanced picture. And finally, we were talking about the solution, and the presenters brought up many concrete cases and broader approaches. Obviously, there are many anecdotal cases of small farm inclusion, good cases. And if we would listen only to Tom, we could be really happy that, okay, everything is going fine. There are no problems. And that shows also the advantage and disadvantage of various scientific approaches. If you are looking small pockets, small surveys or little bigger surveys, you easily get a little bit distorted or biased overall picture. Since, you know, it was very important to have our final presentation, which in a way put this subject to the ground. That yes, we have many excellent small cases, things are improving many ways, but still farmers' income is not increasing much, farmers' value added is not growing, and infrastructure is still a key bottleneck together with other constraints. So actually, how to go further, I think we got many good comments and conclusions. My personal view that it's very good to hear that the government is not interfering on the direct product markets, but at the same time it's also obvious that without a proper public involvement, very difficult to go further, both infrastructurally and regarding the regulatory framework. So obviously, I think this process is going on here. We can see pros and cons, and I think for researchers it's extremely important to look the facts, like what Tom is doing, and what Maximo is doing, and for the economists need to put everything into the right framework. So I think we have got many interesting points for discussion. Thank you very much.